My name is Muhammad Rafiq Hakim bin Husni and my metric number is J19A0195. Okay, today I would like to talk about background study. Forest consists of various species of trees, plants and animals, and it makes the ecosystem in the place complex. Deciduous forests are important in taking a lot of carbon dioxide and releasing a lot of oxygen. Forests also have several types and they have divided according to characteristics such as altitude above sea level, a combination of flora, habitat, climate, soil and biotics. Climate is the average pattern of weather and temperature in a place over a long period of time. It takes 30 years and up. Climate change occurring due to human activity has been one of the causes of the increase in greenhouse gases, like the burning of fossil fuels such as coal, oil and gas. Forest management is the process of planning and implementing the use of forests to meet a number of environmental, economic, social and cultural objectives, including the maintenance, improvement and restoration of the health and fitness of forest ecosystem to meet present and future needs. Okay, that's all from me. I will pass to my partner to continue the presentation.
Next, the problem statement is this forest can act as a solution and also a cause for the problem of greenhouse gas emissions. This is because forests can act to capture carbon dioxide by storing the carbon in forests and soil biomass to prevent loss of carbon stocks. However, through logging activities and continuous forest degradation by irresponsible humans can increasing greenhouse gas in the atmosphere and contributing adverse effects on human life. Then, the objective is to synthesize on the problem of loss of forest cover through sustainable forest management along with proper protection, afforestation and reforestation to prevent the occurrence of continued deforestation and degradation. The second is to determine income-focused management to ensure rapid dominance by the desired species, including treatment such as commercial and pre-commercial timing to enhance growth and production of high-quality timber. The third is to provide a recovery process which involves the use of more intensive and sophisticated management applications. The last one is to study on recreation-focused management, which is protection of natural areas from disturbance caused by irresponsible human beings.
Hi, I'm Nurdanisha, J19A0239. Forest management, protect forest ecosystem and human needs. Ecological forest management. Support by management techniques incorporate natural complexity into their production, the structure of the target bush. Next, important forest management. Efficient planning of productive forest resources, catchment conservation, tourism, and TFP, wildlife conservation, environmental protection to maximize the benefit of current and future generations. Effect of forest management. Firstly, carbon protection. Lower carbon storage was found in smaller footprints than that would promote natural. Secondly, biodiversity. Protect forest system can improve the habitat of some species but not the other habitats. Thirdly, resources for water. Environmentally friendly tree planting system and others were the most important approaches to achieving good drinking water. Lastly, hazard ordinance flood protection. Active management of flood-prone watersheds and nearby plantation shore buffer zones can block canal, cause flood, and affect other users.
Next is climate change. Climate change can refer to change in climate condition. In other words, seasonal change of temperatures, precipitations, humidity, wind, and season. The effect of climate change are divided into three, namely maritime ecosystem, water resources, and terrestrial. The first effect of climate change is marine ecosystem. First, changes over the timing of seasonal life cycle events. This will mean currently, first, the various species found in the area to move to other areas that are much better safe from any trees and have a more conducive temperature to maintain the survivors of the species. Second, food web disorders. Climate change can also affect food web, other organisms, including the complex natural that occur in the food chain, especially of animals such as polar bear and more. The third is extinction risk. The IPCC estimate that 20 to 30% of animals and plant species will become extinct as a result of climate change if temperature rise, and it is difficult of animal to survive. Second, the effect of climate change is water resources. First, water cycle and water demand. There are some climate change that may also affect the increases in water demand, and this can also cause constriction in water supply because in the balance water of these transitions will currently change the water management, where it can affect the need of the growing community over time, including also in terms of highly sensitive ecosystem, animal husbandry, and energy production. The third is water quality. Water quality will also be affected in area experiencing increases rainfall because heavy rains will increases the amount of water flow into rivers and lakes. Lastly, the effect of climate change is terrestrial. The first is biodiversity loss. This climate change has led to the loss of terrestrial biodiversity of affected ecosystem carbon receivers directly or indirectly.
The connection between the forest management and climate change. Forest management and climate change are two separate issues, but they are interrelated. This section has 5 points. The first one is forests help stabilize the climate. They help livelihoods, control ecosystems, keep maintain biodiversity, and also play an important role in the carbon cycles. Forests have two reasons in climate change that they can put up to the cost and reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. The second point is carbon storage. The less carbon will be let out into the atmosphere, it can increasing this supply will help to slow down the rate at which the world temperature rises. The next point is forests play an important role in climate change mitigation by absorbing carbon dioxide and storing it in soils and forest biomass. By limiting carbon loss, management activities can aim to enlarge the involvement rates or preserve or expand current forest carbon stocks. Other mutual interests desired for resource management objectives such as timber supply, water quality, or animal habitat can be propped up by these management practices. Another point is biological diversity. Changes in phenological cycles may have a greater impact on ecological processes such as pollination, flowering, and fruit set in tropical systems because species interactions are more complex and span several species, while seasons are less defined. Last but not least, soil and water protection. When the amount of annual rainfall is minimal and much is trapped and absorbed by the trees, the reduction in rainy season flow and the increase in dry season flow are limited.
Solution for forest management and climate change to ecosystem are reforestation, investing in renewable energy, reduce consumption, and using marine ecosystem. For For reforestation, methods that use such as even edge stand and even edge stand both methods are broadly used in the worldwide and also used to rehabilitate forests that have been damaged by human interventions. Next, investing in renewable energies. The examples such as electricity transport, it can save power and reduce use of carbon dioxide and fossil fuels. Then, for reduced consumptions, designing clever cities around biking and walking, carpool, and use pre-loved goods and can reduce climate change and also lead to high catastrophe. Last, using marine ecosystem. Depending on the location, ocean renewables together with offshore wind energy can take part in an essential positions in decreasing carbon emission efficiently.
My name is Intan Shaira and I will talk about the method. The method that I found or the journal that I found, they conducted a literature search for each Europe state, selecting paper that focus on the worldwide impact of temperature forest management. In a way of science literature search, paper were located using the keyword forest management and each ecosystem service mentioned in the policy document. First, unmanaged forest reserve. The lack of forest management, such as the preference for spontaneous forest development for environmental conservation, define unmanaged forest. According to Forest Europe, 1.476 million hectares of forest in Central Europe are undisturbed by man. The way for us to manage the unmanaged forest reserves is by doing recreation, for example, car park and pathways, and browsing protection. The second one is close to nature forestry. A production system that developed from concept of multifunctional forest management is called close to nature forest management, CTNFM. The main principle of CTNFM discussed here can be used as site adaptive species, the development of mixed and annual age, the avoidance of clear felling, the emphasis on stand stability, reliance on natural process, and the emphasis on individual tree development. Intervention that replicate natural process include long rotation length, side stem harvesting, and group selection. Combined objective forestry. This FMA emphasizes economic and environmental issue, habitat, water and soil protection, mushroom production, game management and environmental protection, and fire avoidance. And recreation are some of the other goals. This research also stated to produce symbol and other ecological advantage, limited intervention in an integrated strategy are used. Protection that are no longer have a yearly increment equal to or more than the maximum mean annual increment. The second one is intensive even age forestry. Individual trees have no or only slight age difference in the intensive even age category, which is defined by stand of forest type in which individual trees have no or only minor age difference. Interventions are used to achieve specific production goals, such as single age monoculture or small percentage of amateur species harvested through clear cutting. The basic goal of short rotation forestry is to produce as much measurable timber or wood biomass as possible. That's all from me. Thank you.